Welcome, everybody, to the 2016 Northwest Athletic Conference Championship Tournament. Scott Oshman, Steve Willits here at the Walt Price Fitness Center here on the campus of Everett Community College. Our first on a big day of basketball, women's first. It's the Umpqua Riverhawks and the Peninsula Pirates. Umpqua out of the South Division, Peninsula Pirates the number one seed out of the North Division, and we should have one heck of a ball game. How are you, Steve?
Doing great. How are you, Scott?
Good. Tell you what, Umpqua Riverhawks, what a story. We'll get to many of those, but head coach Dave Strickland in his 20th year, what a year for him. He has been up and down. They've had tremendous, everybody knows about the horrific shootings in Roseburg. We'll talk about that later, but they make the playoffs again. This is his 23rd tournament appearance. He's won 2 times, and they got here in the regional, winning over Grays Harbor 93-75. And Cluj, we'll talk about Cluj. Sawyer had 33 in that one. Steve, today's game is brought to you by Pierce College. Your kids are on the path to reaching their dreams. Why not join them? With more than 60 programs of study at Pierce College, there's a fit for you, your life, and your schedule. Find your path at Pierce College today. Visit pierce.ctc.edu. It's possible, Pierce College.
Company retreat with Chief Football Officer Russell Wilson.
Guys, teamwork takes practice. And some days will be a little turbulent. But if we stay focused, and show our customers that we care. Care. Now that's giving our best. Best.
Sir, for your safety, please remain seated.
Yes, ma'am.
Giving you our best never stops. Thank you for flying Alaska. Company retreat with Chief Football Officer Russell Wilson.
Guys, teamwork takes practice.
There is no obstacle an engineer can't tackle, build around, or blow up. Skilled and versatile, these soldiers pave the way, building fortifications, detecting and destroying mines, or restoring electricity after a natural disaster. Nothing stands in the way of a guard engineer.
The 2016 NWAC Championship Basketball is also presented by Big Bend Community College. Big Bend Community College has the largest and most successful commercial pilot program in the Northwest and has been training pilots and aircraft mechanics for 50 years. Our alumni fly are for most major U.S. airlines. Check out our aviation programs at www.bigbend.edu. We're just about ready to tip off. It's the number 1 seed and the number 2 seed here in the Elite 8 from Everett Community College. Again, Scott Oshman joined along Steve Willits today, and we talked about the Umpqua Riverhawks, the number 1 seed out of the North Division, coached by Alyssa Crum. And guess what? They won it all last year, and Alyssa Crum's team comes in 13-1, 21-5 overall. They are playing their best basketball, and Alyssa Crum is in her 6th year. They've got plenty of scorers, Steve Willits, and it kind of, you head it off as we look at the starting lineups here with the Moss sisters, Sierra Moss, number 11, Cherish, number 22.
Yeah, absolutely. A high-scoring team, a team like you mentioned, a few in particular. Sierra Moss averaging over 15.5 per game. Amani Smith averaging 13.26. So really this team playing its best ball, as you mentioned, of the entire season, with an easy win against Shoreline last week to get to this game.
Both teams, again, averaging. Peninsula comes in 71 points per game. The Riverhawks, 86 points per game. That's second in all of NWAC under Lane, who you will see here on STSBN later this weekend. Now we see the starters, and there's some ceremonies here as some hardware being passed out for the Riverhawks there in the white. Or excuse me, the Peninsula Pirates in the white. And that's Amani Smith, number 24, getting the award. So the starters here today, Steve, for the Peninsula Pirates is number 4, Zara Laster, a sophomore 5'9" guard out of Sedona Rock High School in Maryland. And we're going to pause real quickly for our national anthem. All right, we're getting ready for some big-time tournament basketball here on STSBN. Again, for the Peninsula Pirates, Zara Laster, number 4, going to start. Sierra Moss, 11. Cherish Moss, 22. And Janice McKnight, also Imani Smith. And they're getting ready for the starters right here. But as they talk about that, this is somewhat of a grudge match in the respect that last year in the Final Four, Umpqua lost to Peninsula 84-70, Steve.
Yeah, and I'm guessing if you are Umpqua, you have not forgotten about that game. These are single elimination tournaments. Well, I should say double elimination. You can still place, but really, in order to win the championship, it's one and done. If you get knocked out by a team one year and you get a chance to meet them again in the Elite Eight the next year, you never forget that moment.
And talking to head coach for the Riverhawks, as you see the starting lineups there, that's Jasmine Davis, number 4, the 5'3" sophomore out of Los Angeles. And Maddie Pape out of Independence, Oregon, a 5'10" sophomore. And the 5'8" freshman out of Portland, Oregon, St. Mary's High School, Tasia Bilbrew. And number 22, Sawyer Kluge, and she can put them up with the best. Averages 20-plus a game. She had a high of 40 points this year. She's the 5th best scorer. And also her friend Anna Mumm, fun story about her, the 6'2" sophomore, also averaging 20, has a high 52 this year, Steve.
52 points. That's over like 3 games, you mean, right?
No.
That's 1 game.
No.
That's in 40 minutes.
That is.
Unbelievable.
And we'll look for her, Anna Mumm, also 100 blocks through 30 games. Nobody even close in the entire NWAC.
I was noticing that too when I was going over the stats. It almost looked like it was a typo when you looked on the NWAC website, but that is in fact the case. Mumm can block, she can score, and she can do a little bit of everything.
And now starting for the Peninsula Pirates is, again, we'll start here in Zara Laster and Moss. They have kind of they have plenty of people that can hurt you. They got all kinds of, obviously, Sierra Moss, which glad to see her in the game against the Shoreline Dolphins a couple weeks ago. She tweaked her knee, so good to see her back. She's had 27 as a high, averaging 15.5. As they announce the starters here. The reserve, excuse me. Unfortunately, Ty Thomas, a freshman 5'11" out of Nia Bay, she broke her foot about 3 weeks ago, so she has not been available. Head coach Alyssa Crum saying that's been unfortunate, but given everybody else has stepped up. Number 4 there, Zara Laster, 5'9" sophomore from Maryland. And there's McKnight, 5'11 freshman out of Quest Prep, Nevada. And also there's Sierra Moss. She can shoot from anywhere, also create. And number 22, her sister Cherish Moss, both out of Nia Bay High School. And there is Imani Smith, averaging 13.2 a game, high 23 this year. Again, a creator. Both teams average around 18, 19 turnovers a game. This should be an interesting, well-played, tight matchup.
Yeah, and always curious to see how these teams are going to react to playing a 10 a.m. start time. Yep. Certainly, when you're getting into a tournament like this, you need to squeeze all of the games in. It's a little bit beyond the norm for what they're used to when they're playing in the evenings or in the late afternoons. How they respond not only to playing 10 a.m., but certainly neither team from around here. So obviously there's some travel and some hotels involved. We'll see what this does to them.
This is the first year with this new setup, meaning the regional games, the Sweet 16s are played at the top number 1 and 2 seeds. That's different in the NWAC. Debating conversations all through the league on coaches whether they like it or not, but here we are at some great crowds at those schools. So here you see number 32, Anna Mumm. She definitely has many choices to go to a 4-year university next year. We're underway. Glad you're with us. NWAC 2016 championship on STSBN. Umpqua in the green. Peninsula in the white. Back over there, Cluj had 33 in their win on Saturday to get here.
Always curious to see how a team's going to come out. Umpqua being very patient here on this opening drive.
Now she gets it off to Bilbrew. Now they get it to Mumm. That one too much. Nice rebound there, but not enough. And Laster coming down as McKnight hit the wood hard there.
Yeah, and certainly that was 1 second on the shot clock when Mumm shot that. Unfortunately for them, when Pape got that rebound, she didn't need to go up as quickly, but nonetheless puts up a shot, misses it, and now we'll see what they can do on the other end.
Back out front. Here's Sierra Moss from the elbow. That one not hitting rim. Again, I think jitters, and it's early.
Seen 2 bad shots, one on each team so far.
Davis now way outside is Cluj. Here come the Pirates. No score, first quarter. Smith. Boy, they're just off.
Moving the ball really well. Laster made a nice pass there. Great job by Moss to kick it out. Unfortunately, the shots just aren't falling so far.
Bilbrew back out to Davis. Tried to go inside. Good denied defense by McKnight. Tries to Smith, Imani Smith, and she will get a foul. Our officials, Rusty Vineyard, Greg Boos, and Felicia Wright this morning.
Didn't like that initial stutter step, but it seemed to work as Smith just froze Davis for a moment. Davis reaching in there draws the foul.
Smith, 64% on the season at the stripe. Just underway here, a full day. She hits the next one. So Imani Smith puts them on the board 1-0 early on. There's a good thought, but just a little outstretched.
Yeah, full court press seemed to throw Umpqua off their game just enough to where they were able to force the turnover. Peninsula back with the basketball.
Trying to get that one to number 12, Maddie Pape, the 5'10 sophomore, but here comes Smith and the Pirates. Laster goes baseline. Nice dish to McKnight, and she will draw a foul on Mumm, and that's something to watch.
Yeah, nice patience by Laster. I thought she was going to put up that shot. She was open momentarily. I think she might have been caught just a little behind the basket. Did a nice job to dribble a couple times and found an open teammate there and gave it to McKnight and draws the foul.
McKnight, nothing but nylon there. 68% on the season for her from the stripe. Hits them both. Peninsula up 3-0 here early on. 8:03 left in this first quarter. Tried again, denied. Mumm, but they get it back. Davis, the kick. Cluj. That was a 3, but she bounces into her own rebound.
Nice job by Cluj to follow up on her shot. waited for a ricochet and was in the right spot.
Resets the shot clock. Nice cut, great feed, and boy, Laster looks like she might have done something.
Bilbrew doing a nice job to keep her head up, waiting for Pape to cut open. Found her at the opportune moment, and they finally get on the board.
3-2 is, hope Laster's all right. Zara, big rebounder. They need her 10th in the league this season. Back out front, Peninsula. The Pirates, great ball movement inside to Dejan Cooks with her first basket.
And Scott, you mentioned the early game jitters. I think we're starting to see them go away. Both of these teams starting to get back into a groove.
The Riverhawks, that's what they want to do, get Mom on the block, her first 2 of this tournament.
Yeah, she is awfully hard to stop. If you can get her open down there, keep giving her the rock.
Sierra Moss from long range, that bounces off and the rebound to Sawyer. Kluge. Kluge, the 5th best scorer in the league. Mom from outside. And they're going to call traveling
kind of
on
unusual
Bilbrew.
when your 6'2" forward puts up a 3-pointer and your 5'3" guard gets the rebound on the offensive end. Usually it's the other way around. Unfortunately for them, they weren't able to convert the second chance opportunity with that travel.
Mom not known for her 3-ball. She shoots 34%, doesn't take a ton of them through the year, but Peninsula right back. Down low, no call as Cooks tried to go up. Here comes Kluge. Down low to Mom.
They had the 5-on-4 on that play, and obviously that means one person's open. You don't want to make the 6'2" person the one that's open if you're on defense.
No, you don't. Sierra Moss the other way, double team. Nice little pull-up. Knocks it down. First 2 for Sierra.
A 7-6 lead here for Peninsula. Still 5:58 going in the first quarter. We're starting to see a little bit of offense pick up here. It's certainly not on pace for an 84-70 game like last year, though.
They go down, and they did double. I talked to Alyssa Crum as we'll get our first 30-second by the Pirates here. At our first time out with 5:50 left to go.
Medical specialists in the Guard are skilled in CPR, field triage, and emergency life support. Medics stabilize and evac the wounded during combat, come to the aid of civilians in a disaster, and provide day-to-day outpatient care. Medical specialists are saving lives on and off the battlefield.
Back here, the NWAC 2016 Championship Tournament, our first game of the weekend. 5:50 left in this first quarter. The Peninsula Pirates up by 1 over the Riverhawks from Umpqua. Scott Oshman along with Steve Willits. Glad you're with us. A little tight early, but it looks like they're getting a sweat on. They're getting going here.
Yeah, no, indeed. You're starting to see passes become a little more crisper. Everybody seems to be getting a little more comfortable, but really a good job on the defensive side of things, too. And we're certainly seeing that on Peninsula's side, getting their hands in and batting some of those early passes away from Umpqua.
Smith brings it down, now over to Cherish Moss, but inside here, McKnight. Too much. Here come the Riverhawks. Bilbrew. No call. Rebound there, Mom, and that's what she's done all season long with a putback.
Yeah, and probably not the play you wanted Bilbrew doing on a 1-on-3, but it's nice to have somebody like Mum who can clean it up for you.
Cherish too much. Back comes Davis. Bilbrew, 3.
Boom.
Got it.
Nice job by Davis on the offensive side of things, too, for Umpqua. She's 5'3". I think we've already called her name for rebounds, 3 or 4 times, and we're not even halfway through the first quarter.
Absolutely. 5 minutes left in this first. women's college going to quarters. And 5 team fouls. That sends you to an automatic 2 foul shots. Smith, nice little easy pull-up jumper. 3 for her.
Amani made that one look really easy. That was just a nice touch. Open shot. Made them pay.
Go outside. They have some depth, does the Umpqua Riverhawks, but they have had an unbelievable season. They had 7 kids as Cluj tries to get her first bucket of the day, but there's a foul instead.
Yeah, not a good foul at that. Certainly if you are Maddie Pape, I think you'd like to have that one over again. Clearly the rebound was already out of your grasp. At that point, players need to turn up and run up the court. Unfortunately for her, she didn't, and she picks up the foul.
Pape, that's her first third-team foul here for the Riverhawks. Smith, deep.
Oh,
got it.
Someone's feeling it all of a sudden.
Imani Smith. 6 points for Smith. Great denial, but it gets back to Mum. And 1 go to the stripe. Anna Mum.
Already 8 points here in the first 6 minutes of this ball game with a chance for 9. And you mentioned it. That is just going to be a mismatch all day long here, or all morning long, I should say, for Peninsula, trying to figure out a way to shut down Mum.
Bilbrew takes a seat for Sid Clark, her first time, the 5'6" freshman from Las Vegas in. And Mum to the line, misses that. Peninsula gets a rebound. Mum, I asked head coach for Umpqua, Dave Strickland, how did you get a kid from Laguna Hills, California to go to beautiful Roseburg? Well, more with that story later.
Oh, I can't wait.
Turns out he happened to coach Anna's mom in 1986.
Funny how those connections often come back to work in your favor, right?
When he was a coach down in Southern Cal with his dad, who sits with him on the bench. As Clark tries that one, and it'll be back to Pirate basketball. Smith, who's been kind of the engine. Mum with another block, 1 over 100 this season.
100 plus now.
100
Yeah,
plus
she is.
now.
She is just rolling. And you know, the more you watch her, you're trying to figure out how she doesn't even. I mean, she scores 20.03 points per game, but you think she might even have more.
McKnight gets that one to roll in. 4 for her. Peninsula now with a lead, back 14-13. Deep 3 and gets it is Maddie Pape. 28% from beyond the arc. She nails it.
A nice job to give Umpqua another lead. Just going back and forth right now. These two teams, knowing that it's all on the line. If you don't win this game, you have no chance of winning the championship.
Down low with Smith. That's too easy.
Too easy for Smith when Sierra Moss is throwing bullets like that. Just gorgeous pass from her.
Down low again, McKnight denies. Gets the steal and the ball. She gonna take it coast to coast? Riverhawks defense finds Sierra. Nice shot from a difficult angle.
Yeah, kudos to McKnight on that play too, recognizing that she didn't have the open shot, didn't try to force it, had plenty of time on the shot clock. Often you see players get into those situations where they start to get around that key and they feel like they need to fire it up. She knew that her teammate was going to get open, and that's exactly what Moss did. But really, McKnight on the defensive side of things, we keep talking about Mum and how she's unstoppable down there, but McKnight recognizing that those passes are going into her, she's got her hands on at least 3 or 4 of those passes into the key already.
Outside, 2:11 left in the first quarter. Great matchup, Peninsula up by 2. Davis being guarded. They get it around the horn, back to Pape. Nice cut by Cluj, and it's going to get a defensive foul. Dejan Cooks.
Very, very close on that play. Cooks almost had position. Could have gone either way. I guess anytime it's close like that, you're usually going to call it against the defense, and that's exactly what they did. Don't think you can fault Cooks on that play.
Yeah, first foul for her. Second team foul, not an issue there as Cluj gets it. 77% from the stripe, pretty consistent. But her first basket today, one of the top scorers in the NWAC league. 2 minutes left, and she hits them both. All tied up. 18-18 here. First game of 4 today. Also the All-Star games tonight on STSBN. And Amanda Hutchins in the game here, gets the turnover there.
Yeah, Hutchins had the right idea. She thought Laster was going to start cutting at just that opportune moment. Unfortunately for her, they weren't quite on the same page. She throws the pass anyway. Laster doesn't break, and the ball goes out of bounds.
Umpqua Riverhawks in the green. They have fought injury. They've fought all kinds of adversity. Deep 3 ball. Bounces out for Clark. It'll stay Riverhawk ball. Inbounding. They get it in to Papes. You can't get it. Laster back in the ball game to Jijeon Cooks. Not enough sauce.
No, when you've got 2 defenders on you and one of them is 6'2", and you try to throw a pass over the top, it often isn't going to work. And Mom just said, nah, not this time.
Umpqua, the number 1 seed out of the South Division, 11-1, 27-5. Again, talked about in the Open. They went down to Peninsula, who ended up winning it all last year in the Final Four. Dave Strickland, 20th year as the head coach. This is familiar territory. Cooks with a nice turnaround. Mom with a rebound. Here comes Davis. Clark, cross court. Inside, Mom can't get it. And they get the foul.
Interesting, the refs were going to let him play with the contact on the shot, but however, when the ball came off the rim, just the slightest of touches, and they blow the whistle.
See who the foul was on that, Steve.
Looks like it was on Mom. Picked up her second.
It was, yep. Second. 4th team foul here is 54 seconds in the first. The team fouls reset here each quarter. Open Cooks down low. 46 seconds on the game clock. They get the offensive board. Smith drives. Steal by the Riverhawks. Clark. Laster with the rebound. 31 seconds. A flying Imani Smith, and she delivers.
A great job by Laster to recognize she had Smith down the court. Never took her eyes off of her. Threw the perfect pass. Smith lays it in.
18 on the game clock. Just a couple second differential of the shot clock. Out front, Pape. Too much this time. Smith, 7 seconds. Imani Smith with a huge first quarter. Of course. And that'll do the first quarter. Imani Smith for the Peninsula Pirates, 12 points in the first quarter as the Pirates 22, Umpqua 18. We'll be back with more NWAC 2016 championship right after this on STSBN. Today's great tournament, the Elite Eight here at the NWAC 2016 Championships, is presented by Centralia College. Centralia College is your college for associate degrees, bachelor degrees, and job training. Apply now to get a jump on classes and financial aid. Application is easy and it's free. You belong at Centralia College. Visit www.centralia.edu for details. Also, Everett Community College, EVCC Trivia Time. Why do 19,000 students choose Everett Community College every year? The answer, at EVCC, faculty know your name and care about your future. Register now for spring classes at everettcc.edu.
They also have a gorgeous gym.
They do here at the Walt Price Fitness Center as we start the second quarter of the turnover.
Yeah, unfortunately for Peninsula, it's taking a little too much time there. They tried to swing a pass out to Smith, just went over her head, and Umpqua's going to take the possession back. And we'll see what they can do without Mum now. When she went to the bench, they gave up 4 quick points. Let's see if they can get some momentum going now that she's not back in for the second quarter either. 2 fouls for Mum.
Swinging it up top. Don't have a huge amount of size when Mum's not on the floor. As a nice drive there by Tasia Bilbrew to get the foul.
I think you're being nice when you say not much size either. I mean, they have what looks like it's almost a 4-guard offense right now, and I might be stretching that. It might be 5 guards out there.
Sitting at the line, 4:26 here in the second quarter. Peninsula 22-18 as Bilbrew hits the first. She's got a 3-ball so far in this one, plus that free throw as the officials are having a...
She's a 69% shooter, too, so we'll see if she can get this next one.
She gets the second. 22-20, 2 points. This one's been tight all the way. Laster, Sierra Mont's way downtown. Rims out, but they get the offensive board. Cherish. McKnight, nice spin, great block. Here come the Riverhawks.
Clean block by Pape on that play. Did an excellent job of denying McKnight.
$8:52 left in the second quarter. The Elite Eight, this side of the bracket for the women's today. Inside, nice turnaround by Pape.
Yeah, interesting. Peninsula staying in that 2-3 zone, and really Umpqua without a big presence now that Mum's on the bench. Pape, who's been shooting outside all game, decides to post up on that play, and she looks like she's got some nice post moves as well.
They can hurt you from all over the court. Laster, she decides that's going to be a 2. No good. Here come the Riverhawks. They want to press, they want to push, they want to run. Davis back out. Cluj cannot find the rhythm so far as stepping out of bounds is Tasia Bilbrew.
Yeah, interesting that the referee was right down there. We're up above, but I thought there might be a call there at first. It looked like she had a little help going out of bounds. The referee saw it differently, saw it as incidental contact, and Peninsula now with a chance to retake the lead.
If you're an Umpqua Riverhawks fan and Sawyer Cluj at the 7:56 mark here in the second quarter, she's just got 2 free throws. As Laster with a really sweet little jump hook.
Yeah, pretty turnaround there. Just floated that one up. Nothing but net.
And that's going to go right back to the Pirates as another turnover. Dave Strickland concerned about turnovers when we talked to him before the game as McKnight takes a seat. But for Umpqua, Sawyer Cluj, no points except 2 free throws right now. She has had 33 in the win over Grays Harbor. She averages 20 plus.
And the fact that you're still only down by 2 even without her numbers yet, if she gets rolling, look out.
And Mum on the bench with 2 fouls. Pape. Bounce around. This team rebounds so well off the offensive glass. Jasmine tries to take Sierra baseline, bails out, kicks it. And this time, one too many passes, Steve.
I was going to say those exact words. I mean, nice job really by Davis initially driving into the lane, recognizing that she drew the defense to her. Started swinging the ball around, which you always like to see. These teams looking for that open shot, especially trying to break that zone. Like you said, just one too many passes. Otherwise, yeah, they did a nice job on that offensive possession.
Davis now to Cluj. Tries to drive. She is trying to get it going. Here comes Laster for the Pirates. 1-on-2. Stops, drops, can't get it. Boy, Dejan Cooks fighting for a rebound.
Yeah, no, you like to see the intensity in that hustle, and nice job by Cooks. Unfortunately for her, it came at a price of her losing her 2 feet from underneath her and falling right out of bounds.
Pirates up by 2. as Jasmine Davis gets longtime head coach Dave Strickland. His dad there, the gentleman to his right, used to coach with him down in Southern California. That's how they found the Mum family. And also got Katie Underwood from Dana Hills, because Dana Hills' mom and Anna Mum's mom played for the Stricklands in 1986.
Unbelievable. And that's the way that the coaching tree works sometimes.
Bill Brew. Back rim.
It always amazes me how some of these community colleges can find these diamonds in the rough for these players that are nowhere near the vicinity of where the school is located. But that's why right there. You have those connections, and it's all about networking, right? We learn that in the business world, and we learn that in sports as well, especially when you're at the college level here. A player that otherwise probably would never be on your radar, but when you coach mom, or a couple of moms, I guess, equals you getting to the Elite Eight.
Cherish to the right. Can't get it. And Dave Strickland admitted to me, he's like, yeah, we didn't really have to work too hard on those. Cooks, but denied Pape right into her hands, deep down to Clark. Back over. Kluge now gets it to Pape.
The second time in about 4 possessions that Pape has denied somebody with a block shot.
And a long-range bomb finally there by Pape.
Hey, you know what? She's the one that stopped it on the other end. You might as well reward her with the 3. Pape doing a really nice job here so far in the second quarter.
10 points for her, second from beyond the arc. Sierra now her post moves. Laster there for the ball. She tries that little jump hook. She's got an interesting shot there from the left.
Yeah, at times it looks great. That wasn't one of them.
Davis back out. Davis long range. Got it. Jasmine Davis. Her first points of the game.
Umpqua starting to feel it a bit out there behind the arc.
Now Umpqua on top by 4. Has a scrappy contest out front there. And that's Anaya Radisha, the 5'9 freshman, number 1 in the white from Crest Prep, Nevada. And with that scrum on the floor, we'll take a timeout here with 4:59 left in the second quarter. NWAC Championship Basketball on STSPN.
Medical specialists in the Guard are skilled in CPR, field triage, and emergency life support. Medics stabilize and evac the wounded during combat, come to the aid of civilians in a disaster, and provide day-to-day outpatient care. Medical specialists are saving lives on and off the battlefield.
Just under 5 minutes to go here in this first of many, many games on STSPN. The women's bracket first on championship weekend on STSPN. And there's a turnover from Umpqua, and Laster with the ball for the Pirates. Stops, pops, drains it.
They needed that. They had been outscored 10-2 early on. And there we go again. Steal in the backcourt from behind. Beautiful pass.
Smith, Rhodesia.
Great job by Imani Smith just to sneak up behind Davis, poke that ball away. Could have almost been called for an over and back as she stole it and kept her momentum going, but hey, you know what? Not going to take away from that gorgeous steal and an even better pass.
And just like that, it's all tied again at 28. The Pirates averaging 12 steals per game, and again, talking to head coach Allison Crum for the Peninsula Pirates, talking about Mum, talking about their 2 20-plus scorers. I asked, are you going to double? She said, no, we're going to play straight up D. And they're going to let their defense do what they've done all season long. And right now it's working out for them, Steve.
Yeah, so far so good. It's not a lead, but they're not behind either. So
Davis with the ball out top, cross court. Now they find Bilbrew. Not enough, but a big rebound, 1-on-3 there. But Laster comes out with it. She looks to Cooks. Dejan earns a trip to the charity stripe.
yeah, and that timeout, I don't know what they said during that break, but it must be working. They're on a 4-0 run right now and looking for more.
First personal for Clark as Cooks at the line. Cooks. Now the crowd waiting. The silence for the free throw shooter is so courteous.
That or they're not awake yet. It's still pretty early here.
It is.
Most of these folks aren't used to watching morning basketball.
3:56 left. Now Peninsula, see if she can get it to a 2-point lead. Not this time, but Laster comes up with a big rebound. Laster.
Just the way they drew it up, right? Missed that shot on purpose, get the rebound, pass it around, let Laster put in another 2. 7-0 run since the timeout.
Another steal. Smith.
Oh,
Double dribble.
she doesn't like the call, but it is correct. She was on her way to a breakaway, and that ball just took a very funny hop off of the hardwood, and the referees made the right call there. It bounced up in the air a little bit higher than a dribble should. Almost unfortunate for Smith at that point. If she had recognized it, she could have almost pulled up for a little 6-footer, but she kept going, and they called it.
Alicia Wright, the official there on the call. Umpqua thinks about it. Pape pulls the trigger. Laster with the rebound.
That was Steph Curry 3-ball right there.
That was.
25 feet out.
Laster with a little globetrotter dribble. Gets it around the horn. 21 on the shot clock. Back out. Rhodesia. McKnight. Good, strong move up and in.
Great move all around. Laster setting the picks. Rhodesia with the dribbles and the pass. McKnight with the layup.
Deep 3. Cluj still looking for her big bucket from Cluj. Amani Smith the other way. Pirates come up with it again. Laster will try it from 3. Here comes Cluj.
At some point, Sawyer Cluj needs to get going. She still has those 2 free throws, and that's all she has to show on the scoreboard right now. She's had a few opportunities, and you can tell she looks like she might be getting a little frustrated. She's tried to get that ball inside a few times and been denied. We'll see if she can get something going here in the final 2:20 of the half.
If you're watching this game wondering where Anna Mumm is, she had 2 fouls as there's a deep ball by Davis. Sierra Moss with a rebound for the Pirates, but Anna Mumm in the first quarter got 2 quick fouls, and we haven't seen her since.
Yeah, and it didn't seem to affect them too much early on. They outscored Peninsula 10-2 for the first part of the second quarter without her. However, since then, and their Peninsula has gone on a 9-0 run, and I'm sure that at some point they'd like to have Mumm back in, but at the same time, understand what you don't want to send her into the second half in foul trouble, so you're keeping the game in a manageable spot right now where you're not letting it get too far away from you. If you can avoid trying to get her in there in this final 1 minute and 59 seconds, you'd prefer to do that.
And you can see on your screen there, she's sitting at the end of the bench. I think she keeps looking at head coach Dave Strickland. Now?
Well, if they can get a 3-pointer here, possibly, and get this back to a 2-point game, I think Coach Strickland's going to be happy with his decision. Let's see what happens.
Bilbrew in the game now. Back out, there's Clark, and deep 3 by Bilbrew, no good. Here comes Amani Smith. It's been her half for the Peninsula Pirates. Sierra. Ooh, holds the ball, then tries to rip it back to Amani, and it's a little bit too clever.
Yeah, rather than doing the two-handed pass or palming it, she tried to do a little curl move, and it just went out of bounds.
There's a 30-second timeout on the floor. And we'll be back with more second quarter action on STSPN.
As certified jumpers, divers, and survival experts, Special Forces are dropped behind enemy lines to train foreign fighters, carry out covert missions, or prevent future conflicts. These soldiers live for the challenge, highly trained and highly intelligent. Special Forces soldiers are the best of the best.
Back here at the Walt Price Fitness Center, the campus of Everett Community College for NWAC 2016 Championship Tournament. Scott Oshman, Steve Willits. Minute 20 left to go in this second quarter here in our first of 4. Riverhawks driving is Williams. Olivia Williams, the rebound there. Cluj no good. Williams back up. She gets rewarded for her hard work just in the ball game from Olympia High School in Bremerton, the 5'9" freshman.
Yeah, great job by Williams to, again, get down there low. Got a good look on that first shot, just happened to miss it, but stayed with the play and, like you mentioned, was rewarded with an offensive board and a putback.
Now she'll be hit with a foul, and that's her first, team second. Peninsula has 3 team fouls here in the second quarter. Deep 3 for Laster. Wow.
It's her 9th point of the quarter alone, all coming on field goals. Laster really, she's been very instrumental in this comeback and given Peninsula their largest lead of the day.
Only 26% from 3 land in the season is Zara Laster, but today she is feeling good. Bilbrew out top for the Riverhawks in green. Cluj trying to get it going, her first bucket.
Not only does that keep them in the game, but it certainly is something for her to build on into the second half now.
Smith the other way, 4.3 left in the first half. Despite Munn's foul trouble, Cluj only with 4 points, 2 from the stripe. Sierra Moss long range, and she nails it. I was going to say they're in good shape.
You know, they really haven't been in that bad a shape other than these. Whoa, and she almost made a half-court shot. Other than a couple of those 3 balls and a few nice outside shots, Peninsula not exactly hurting them down low. A lot of what they're doing is coming on off of defensive steals and hitting those 3 balls.
We'll be back with a halftime statistics, all kinds of great information. 39-32 Peninsula on top right here on STSPN NWAC 2016 Championship.
Soldiers in the Guard's intelligence field gather information on the enemy using a variety of tactics. Scanning foreign communications, conducting interrogations, and debriefing friendly contacts, all while delivering and coordinating data to help allies on the battlefield or stop civil emergencies. The enemy can't hide from Guard intelligence.
End of quarter, it's supposed to be 2 minutes National Guard. Okay, he's going to do the 3, then I'll just do
Soldiers
the 3.
in the Guard's intelligence field gather information on the enemy.
It's all around us. It's the ground upon which we stand. The well-worn paths, and the ones that haven't been forged. It's our history and our what lies ahead. It's ours to nurture and to protect. We're a force for community and for country. We have the skills to define our future and our nation's future. To make a stand. For our way of life. And we will so promise. Back into the land of the free. Individually, we're trailblazers. Pioneers, preservationists. United, we are the keepers of the dream. And we are on guard.
Back here, halftime, Scott Oshman, Steve Willits tied up 39-32. This NWAC 2016 Champion Tournament on STSBN is brought to you by Big Bend Community College. Big Bend Community College, they'll launch an unmanned aerial system, the drone program, focused on agricultural applications next fall. The program will train both drone technicians and pilots. Exciting things are happening at Big Bend Community College because of excellence in teaching and learning. www.bigbend.edu. Steve Willits, halftime here, 39-32. A lot of lead changes, a couple ties through the first, but for the Peninsula Pirates, you got to start with Imani Smith.
Well, you start with Imani Smith in the first quarter, then you kind of end it with Zara Laster in the second. Smith with all of her points coming in that first period. We're doing it real quickly here. 12 points, and then Laster with all of her points coming in the second quarter, which was 9. So really, if one of them wasn't doing the scoring, the other one was. But really, you mentioned Smith scoring in the first quarter, but in the second quarter, doing the unsung things, really. Getting the steals, making the passes, playing the defense, and really everything started swinging after that timeout happened at the 4:59 mark. Peninsula was down 28-24 at that point. And oh, by the way, they had just turned the ball over, so coming out of the timeout, Umpqua had the basketball. Yet Peninsula outscores them, 15-4 in the second half of the second quarter. So really, that's the difference in this ball game right now. And Laster was doing a lot of the scoring at that point, but certainly Smith doing the intangible things, and right now it's working for them.
And on the Umpqua Riverhawk side, they're usually the two, Mum and Cluj, carry the load. Mum 8 points early, then she gets the 2 fouls. But right now, Maddie Pape kind of carrying the load with 10 in the first half. She only averages 11 on the season.
Pape is doing a great job. She does have the 10 points and a couple of nice moves. We mentioned it during the game. She's popping shots on the outside. She's posting up when they've needed her to. But really, if Umpqua is going to do what they want to get back in this game, they need Mum to stay out of foul trouble. What we did see when we watched her for the first 10 minutes of this game was that she definitely creates a mismatch for them. Peninsula really doesn't have an answer for her down low. So if Anna Mum can stay in this game, she should have fresh legs. Certainly she can't talk about fatigue, right? She's had an entire quarter to sit and a halftime. So really, if she can come out strong and kind of get back into a rhythm like she was doing in the first quarter, they should be in good shape. And really, we mentioned it again right in that last minute, Sawyer Cluj finally scoring her first field goal with about 25 or 30 seconds to go. That might just be the catalyst for her getting her game going, too. And she's not playing poorly by any means. She's had trouble getting open, getting looks. She's had a few shots that have just gone in and out, but really a player who scores 20 points a game, she's got the confidence. She should be fine in the second half. She just needs to start coming out, and for her, if she can get out and get hot early, maybe hit a couple baskets in the first minute or two, that could put her up to where she needs to be and get her going for the second half.
And three-pointer is such a big part of the game now, Steve. The Umpqua Riverhawks, they shoot 33% from beyond the arc, but they haven't had that best, grade of luck today. It's really been the Peninsula Pirates only shooting 28% on the season. They've had some huge three balls.
Yeah, and really the threes aren't much different right now. Umpqua does have 4 threes for the game. Peninsula Pirates have 3. Umpqua, however, getting theirs at ideal moments, hitting that one right down the stretch in that last possession, right after Cluj had come down on the other end and hit that basket. So really giving Peninsula their largest lead of the game right before the half, that was huge. And they did happen to hit a couple of those threes right coming out of that timeout that we talked about in the middle of the second quarter when they really needed to hit some shots. And to get 2 of them, I think they got them back-to-back from, Pape had one, and I think Davis had one right around that time. Perfect timing for them.
We'll be back with more on the halftime here. The NWAC Championship on STSBN. 39-32 Peninsula up. More after this.
Got it.
Back here at halftime from the campus of Everett Community College, the Walt Price Fitness Center here, beautiful facility, hosting this Northwest Athletic Conference Championship Weekend, the Elite Eight. Stay tuned and look for STSPN. This is just the first of many. We'll have you all the way through the championship game tonight. Thursday here today, we start on the women's side. Our first game here at Peninsula and Umpqua. Coming up after this, targeted time, start time of 12 p.m. We'll have the number 1 seed out of the West, Lower Columbia, the Red Devils, facing Spokane, the Sasquatch, the number 2 seed out of the East, right here on STSPN. Hope you're enjoying the action. And we'll be back. No, we're going to stay right here. This NWAC Championship on STSPN, also brought to you by Everett Community College. EVCC Trivia Time. Hey, why do some of the region's best athletes choose Everett Community College every year? The answer, look around you. They got to use this gym. That's exactly right. Register now, and you too could have access to this gorgeous facility. Register now for spring classes at everettcc.edu. We'll be right back with more in the second half on STSPN.
Always improving with Chief Football Officer Russell Wilson.
Good, high knees, knee up, toe up, knee up. Come on, Silver Fox.
What's that?
I like it. I see the hustle. I see the hustle for the baby. Name that route.
Albuquerque, New Orleans, Atlanta, Cancun.
Faster, faster, faster. Lost teddy bear. Open guy. Hit him. Oh. Let's make those hungry customers full customers. Why not, huh? I like it. Let's go. It's not even 7 a.m. yet.
Alaska Airlines.
No time to sleep.
Always improving with Chief Football.
Back here at halftime of our first game here, the Pirates and the Riverhawks, Scott Oshman, Steve Willits, getting ready here for second half action. Let's go through the bracket a little bit. On the women's side, our next game, Lower Columbia and Spokane. The Elite Eight on the women's side going exactly as planned. Not a lot of bracket busters here. And then later today at 2 p.m., we'll have Wenatchee Valley and the Bellevue Bulldogs. And at 4 p.m., our last of the day on the women's side, it's Lane and Centralia. Lane, the number 1 seed, also the number 1 ranked in the Alaska Airlines NWAC poll coming into this one. And then tomorrow we start the action on the men's side, beginning with a 2 p.m. start. Chemeketa gets in, and they upset the number 1 Peninsula on the men's side team, a 69-63 win. That's a big upset, one of many, and they'll face Spokane. And after that, you got Big Bend, the number 1 seed out of the East. They cruise to a 84-76 lead over Bellevue, and they'll face Highline. And to finish it up on the other side of the bracket, tomorrow at 6 and 8 p.m., you have Columbia Basin against Whatcom and Clark and Yakima Valley. So that sets up your NWAC Championship Weekend tournament here, Steve. Huge upsets on the men's side. Women's going as planned.
Yeah, and you never know what you're going to get when you play one-game playoffs, right? I mean, that's essentially what they've set up now. Once you get to the Sweet 16, it's one and done. You can be undefeated all season long, go against a team that's lost 8 or 9 games, and if that team gets hot on that particular night, you're going home. And we saw a little bit of that on the men's side. So it should be interesting to see if some of those teams that perhaps had rougher seasons were number 4 seeds coming out of their divisions can keep that momentum going after big wins last week. Now that they get to the show, if you will, the Elite Eight, where they get to watch all of their other counterparts and play in a gym and have their games broadcasted by STSPN and all this other fun stuff. We'll see if they succumb to the pressure or if they step up and keep things rolling.
A lot of talk with the 4 divisions, which is stronger, which is having each year. But again, heading in the tournament, you look at that at the NCAA as well. But the East right now, I got to tell you, on the men's side, all 4 advancing on to the Elite Eight. South with 2 teams, the North and the West, both with 1 on the men's side. 2:40 left here to go in this halftime, and we'll start this third quarter. What's the big keys, Steve Willits, for Umpqua to kind of get back in the rhythm and hang here with the Pirates?
Well, again, it's like we were talking about before the last break. Mum needs to come out strong. Cluj needs to come out and start hitting some shots if they can get that going. It's only a 7-point game right now, but I say only. It's still a deficit, and if Peninsula were to come out and score, a quick 4, 6, 8 points, whatever it might be, and Umpqua falls behind, I don't know if they're set up necessarily to come from behind by quite that large of a deficit. So really the first couple minutes of that third quarter should be a telling mark.
We'll see what happens. Today's action brought to you by a lot of great people. We want to talk and give a shout out. With more than 60 programs to study at Pierce College, there's a fit for you, your life, and your schedule. Find your path at Pierce College today. Visit pierce.ctc.edu. It's possible, Pierce College. Also want a big thank you to Centralia College. Centralia College, it's your college for associate degrees, bachelor degrees, and job training. Apply now. College, visit www.centralia.edu for details. We'll be back with the second half right after this on STSPN.
Using a variety of tactics. Scanning foreign communications, conducting interrogations, and debriefing friendly contacts, all while delivering and coordinating data to help allies on the battlefield or stop civil emergencies. The enemy can't hide from Guard intelligence. Soldiers in the Guard's intelligence.
Getting ready for the second half here. The reigning champions, the Peninsula Pirates. What a season, 13-1, 21-5. Equaling last year at 13-1 in the league. Trying to get a two-peat. Their first in NWAC history last year, getting the championship. We're underway here. Scott Oshman, Steve Willits, Umpqua in the green with the ball, and Anna Mumm is on the floor. 39-32, the start of the third quarter here. Davis up top to Bilbrew. Looking to set something up. Three. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. And just as you said, she hit one at the end of the first half, and Cluj comes in, nails it from three.
Well, isn't that what great scorers do? They often find a cold streak in the game, and then once they get going, though, the buckets tend to come in bunches.
Sarah Moss with the ball for Peninsula. Laster who hit a three. This one too much off the back iron. Davis deep down in traffic, bounces off Pape. Now it's Peninsula ball.
Nice job by Moss, by the way. She knew she wasn't able to turn around in time. Just stuck her hands up.
And there's a deep drive from Cherish Moss.
The Moss sisters getting it done. Sierra on the defensive end, Cherish on the offense.
First bucket for Cherish today. 42-35. Umpqua trying to hang in there, and that's a turnover on Anna Mumm. And Dave Strickland not pleased.
No, and he shouldn't be. I mean, they come out, they get the look they wanted. Cluj gets the early three. They try to get back into the game. 2 possessions later, they give up a three, and then they turn it over really quickly, and that's exactly what they didn't need right now.
McKnight. Great pass to Laster, reverse, and it's up and in. Great passing here by the Pirates.
Great passing, but a nice reverse layup as well. Laster still continuing to shoot well. She now has 11 and didn't have any in the first quarter.
Pape with a traveling call, and things starting to unravel a little bit, and head coach Dave Strickland seen enough. He's going to call a timeout, and we will too here with 8:16 left to go in the third quarter.
Officer Russell Wilson.
Good, high knees, knee up, toe up, knee up. Come on, Silver Fox. I like you, I see the hustle. I see the hustle for the baby. Name that route.
Albuquerque, New Orleans, Atlanta, Cancun.
Faster, faster, faster. Lost teddy bear. Open guy, hit him. Oh, let's make those hungry customers full customers, why not, huh? I like it. Let's go. It's not even 7 a.m. yet.
Alaska Airlines.
No time to sleep.
Always improving with Chief Football Officer Russell Wilson.
Good, high knees, knee up, toe up.
Back here, Everett Community College, the NWAC 2016 championship. Our first of 4 today. Scott Oshman, Steve Willits alongside here. And Umpqua came out, as you talked about. They got exactly what they want. Kluge, who's been struggling in the first half, she nails a 3. A turnover by Munn. And then a traveling call. Dave Strickland seen enough. He calls it TO.
It's getting a little sloppy. I mean, you've had the travel. You had a long court pass that really probably should not have been thrown. Another pass that went out of bounds. Umpqua, they cannot self-destruct right now. They're fortunate. They're only down by 9 still. But they need to utilize that timeout to their advantage and to really just get refocused. And they had the right looks coming out of the second into the second half. Now they need to recapture that.
Peninsula starts with the ball. Cherish, who hit a big 3 over to her sister. Sierra now back. Imani Smith, big first quarter for Smith. Cherish, can she get another one? Streak has now officially begun.
Unbelievable. That was about 3 feet behind the line. Nothing but the bottom of the net.
Quick 6 for Cherish Moss. Billabrew, good defense there by Cherish. Now McKnight, lose the handle, will be back to the Riverhawks. Billabrew with the ball. Extended D, here's a 3-ball. Kluge can't get it. Smith, 1-on-4. The lane opens up, cannot get the bounce. Lucky there.
Yeah, we need to see if they can get the ball to Mum here on this drive. There we go.
Left-hander right off the window.
Just about to comment that we were almost 3 minutes into the second half, and we're really not seeing Mum on the offensive side like we did in the first quarter of this game when they got on a nice little run.
But there is Imani Smith, 3-pointer.
Yeah, 9 of their 11 points so far in the first 3 minutes of this quarter coming on the 3-ball. It's really the dagger that's going into Umpqua right now, and they're now down by 13. They need to get something going quickly.
Biggest lead, Munn for 3. Got it! Wow!
I mentioned she's been absent on the offensive side of things, and she comes out with 5 quick points.
Cherish. Big rebound by McKnight. Good rebound there. Umpqua, but they turn it over one more time. Here comes Laster. Thinks better of it getting to McKnight. Now waits for her teammates. Imani Smith. You think they get it to Cherish? No, Sierra says, I want in. Not this time. Here comes Billabrew. Umpqua trying to get a run. Nice feed. Oh, ball from here. No call on the drive there by Pape. That was Clark.
A nice job by Smith to get her hand on that ball. Almost knocked it off of her as well. She almost created the turnover. Nice job by Billabrew, by the way. I mean, on that last possession, she threw a very ill-advised pass. This time she made up for it with a very nice pass on over, like you mentioned, to Clark on the play.
And Klug wants the and one. They're not going to get the basket, but there is a foul. 6:05 left to go in this third quarter. Peninsula, that 10-point lead. Umpqua trying to keep him close. Munn hesitated. That foul on Moss. Kluge with the ball, trying to take Moss to the baseline. Goes underneath, dips it off to Munn. Can't get it, but she gets her own rebound up and in.
Yeah.
Stat stuffer, Steve.
Nice job by Kluge, too. Drawing a double team, left Mum wide open.
Smith on the other side. Foul, a lot of activity under the boards by Cooks and Munn.
Yes. And they're going to call that on Cooks away from the ball. Yeah, Cooks and Mum just getting their arms tied up with one another. 2 power forwards down there, and once they got a little inertia going, there's nowhere to go but the ground.
Second on Dejan Cooks. Second on the Pirates here in the third quarter. Feed it to Munn.
what they need to do more of, and they're starting to work their way into Mum, and consequently 7 straight points for them now.
All of a sudden, 17 for Mum. Laster underneath, looking for help. Deep out to Smith. Right under the elbow, can't get it. Here come the Riverhawks. Clark. Nice move, and she finishes. Sid Clark.
A great job by Clark. No hesitation there. She thought about passing that ball, realized that she had a lane wide open, and she took advantage of it. 6 straight points for Umpqua.
Sierra Moss into the paint, and she's going to draw the 3rd foul on Anna Mum. Oh, they're going to give that to Kluge. Is that what I just heard from our public announcer?
They, in fact, did give it to Kluge, which is only her first. So
yeah.
Certainly if you're Umpqua, that's who you want picking up that foul at this point, if it's between Kluge and Mum.
There's a timeout on the floor with 4:44 left to go. 3rd quarter. Things getting heated here at Everett Community College. Back with more on STSBN. Time again for Everett Community College EVCC Trivia Time. Why did 19,000 students choose Everett Community College every year? Well, the answer, we have fun. With sports, live music, and more, you'll never want to leave. Register now for spring classes at everettcc.edu.
The motto is you'll never want to leave. That's good, though. You want to create an environment where people don't want to leave. 2-year program, you hope they move on at some point. But yeah, Everett Community College, a great school. And if you haven't visited this campus yet and you're thinking about going to college, not a bad place to be at all.
Sierra Moss at the line for the Peninsula Pirates. Misses the first. 81% free throw shooter. She gets the second.
Broke the 9-0 streak, too. Let's see if Peninsula can maybe get some momentum going from that and create a streak of their own.
Kluge into Mum. And they're going to call Mum for a traveling. She started to get the rhythm going, but those interruptions, not what Dave Strickland and the coaches want.
Yeah, the body was a little contorted there. She was trying to figure out what to do with the ball, and in the process, while trying to turn her upper body, feet went with the rest of the body, and she traveled.
Anya Radisha with the ball for Peninsula, and nice drive and the bucket. Radisha, 4 points.
I'll say this about both teams. Every time one of them calls a timeout, it seems to work. They come out and get a little roll going, and that's exactly what Peninsula needed up until that point.
Nice tip there, drill, and Mum gets it. 19 now for the sophomore Anna Mum.
Yeah, 11 of which have come in this quarter, and we're only 6 minutes in.
Laster on top, splits the double.
Nice move.
The southpaw makes him pay. Laster playing very well with 13.
You mentioned she's got that nice little pop shot. That was an underhand layup there. And we've also seen reverse layups from her.
That's right. She's got the ball off the Kluge miss. Great hustle there by Kluge, and she bounced into her teammate, and Kluge is down on the ground. We'll see, and they might have to call a timeout. Sawyer Kluge had a great defensive block, almost a trail block, hustling down after a miss. But she kind of just ran into a teammate.
She got herself airborne on that play. She went leaping through the air, which she needed to do to get to that ball. Unfortunately for her, as she started to come down, Pape, not realizing that Kluge was right there, cut right into the middle, and neither one of them had anywhere to go. And Kluge really in a lot of pain right now, and that's unfortunate as we're starting to get a game here. And certainly Kluge is a player, leading scorer for Umpqua all season long, very instrumental in all the successes that they've had. Let's see if they can get her back as she tries to walk it off.
Bill Brew now in, and Dave Strickland. They have fought a lot of things this year with all the incidents down in Roseburg with the shootings and everything. At one point, Steve, they only had 7 kids playing for them in December, January. Sometimes they didn't know who they had playing, and they fought through, and they got here. So a tremendous job as a deep three from Sierra, but a big rebound by the Pirates.
Well, that's kind of the MO of Umpqua and what they're all about, and that's why when they fall down by 7 points with 2:42 to go in the third quarter, you don't count them out. You know that they can battle.
Laster with a sweet-looking move to get some space, and she dishes it off to Hutchins in the game, the 5'9" sophomore from Wasilla, Alaska, and she gets the foul and an opportunity to get more.
Yeah, Hutchins doing a nice job finding an opening, drew the foul on Williams, and now she goes to the line for 2.
Second on Williams, second team foul. No good the first, the second one short, but there's Sierra Moss. Offensive glass just been tremendous here by the Peninsula Pirates.
And not what Umpqua needed at this point. They were able to get the good fortune of having her miss both of those shots, and when Hutchins missed the second one,
Smith!
Teammates stepped up and bailed her out, and just like Smith gets bailed out on that play.
That's going to go on Sid Clark. Her second, third team foul, and Monty Smith, a little showtime here today, Steve.
Yeah, we mentioned she hasn't done much scoring since the first quarter, only 3 points after having that big quarter, and still stuck at 3 as she misses that first free throw. But Amani doing a little bit of everything else, and if they need a steal, she seems to get that. If they need a nice pass, she's ready with one and really having a nice game so far.
Clues checks in. Good news for Riverhawk fans and everyone as Sawyer gets back in, as Monty hits that. .221 left here in the third. 56-48. Peninsula in control here in the third. Deep into Mum. Count it!
You think Anna Mum's happy to have Sawyer Kluge back on the floor right now?
Yeah, the dynamic
Great
duo.
pass. Really, I mean, when she first threw that pass, I was about to say, oh, ill-advised, because she threw it right in the middle of two other defensive players, but you can tell those two have played with each other a little bit. Kluge knew exactly where to put it, where Munn could go up, grab the pass. She's rewarded with a basket and a foul.
Here's where it gets interesting, Steve. Peninsula is McKnight. That's her third foul, as Mum can't get the
Oh, we got a chance for a 4-point play now.
But, yeah, they stay with possession. Kluge with the ball out of bounds. So McKnight, who's played tremendous defense, sitting now with 3 fouls, and they're going to call a foul on the ball there for Radisha.
You mentioned she's played great defense. The defense has been on Mum, so
yes.
That'll be really interesting to see now how they try to counter, trying to keep the ball away from Mum down low. Certainly Laster looks like she's the one that might be.
Kluge, deep three, too much. Fighting for the rebound. Bilbrew comes up with a huge rebound at this time. Clark out front. Resets the shot clock. Bilbrew, though, and there's Cooks. Almost travels Radisha back to Cooks. Out front, Cherish. And Mum with a big rebound. Lots of bodies on the floor under the rim. Williams tries to get a one-handed bouncer in to no avail.
Yeah, she made a nice attempt at it as Clark was cutting towards the basket. Laster, using some of those soccer moves, puts a foot in there, kicks the ball out of bounds.
Mum wants 3, this time right rim. Kluge tries the rebound. Laster's going to pick it up, and Umpqua hanging in there with 1:23 in the third, only down by 6. We're down as many as by 13. Amani Smith, and Mum, strong rebound, and they're going to get a jump ball.
Yeah, they're going to say Mum was tied up on the way down to the floor. Smith had a nice look there. She cut towards the basket, found a lane, just put a little too much on it and threw it off the backboard a little too hard.
Mum at 6'2". She is everything she can handle right now by Dejan Cooks and company for the Peninsula Pirates. Allison Crum, the head coach. Assistants Mike Knowles, Susanna Dean. And there's Cooks.
Another jump ball.
It's going to be going to Umpqua.
Nice defense by Williams on the play. Cooks getting that ball in the key. Was looking for an immediate shot. Williams comes over, grabs that basketball, creates the turnover.
Minute 2 left to go. Deep, Kluge. Back is Smith. One-on-one, going to take it herself. And she finishes at the rim better than most. Amani Smith. Foul now called on the other side. Clark.
Yeah, Amani Smith just looks so masterful when she's got that ball in transition. I mean, you mentioned it. She just finishes it off better than most players you'll see. Often you'll see players go into that lane and they get a little out of control and they throw up shots that just they have no business shooting. Amani's got a nice touch when she gets in there.
Double bonus, the foul on Lasser, her first, but 5 on Peninsula, and that'll send Clark as she hits the first. New rule this year in college women's basketball. 5 team fouls per quarter sends you to 2 automatic free throw opportunities. And Clark does what she needs to with 42 seconds left in the third quarter. 6-point lead for Peninsula. Been a big third quarter for them. Laster right over the outstretched arms of Anna Mumm, and Laster just playing huge.
Yeah, Laster recognizing that her point guard had a double team. She rolls off, gets wide open, makes him pay for it.
No shot clock necessary. That's off the fingertips of Williams. Had the right idea, tried to lead, but a little bit too much.
Yeah, a little too far there as Williams just coming off the pick and roll there, and I think Bilbrew just threw it a little too far ahead of her.
And turnovers just devastating the Umpqua Riverhawks. And before the game, talking to head coach for the Riverhawks, Umpqua, Dave Strickland, he was concerned about turnovers.
And he should be. Peninsula is a nice transition ball club. If you turn it over and you let them get up the floor 4-on-3, 3-on-2, 2-on-1, they'll make you pay for it, and that's what they've done here so far. And you're seeing a little bit of that here in the later stages of the third quarter.
Over 30 games, Umpqua averaging 19 at the buzzer. She can't get Laster, one of the few misses. As we head into the fourth and final quarter, 60-52, Peninsula on top. Should be an outstanding finish here from Everett Community College. The NWAC Championship Weekend on STSBN. We'll be back with fourth quarter right after this.
Days will be a little turbulent. But if we stay focused and show our customers that we care. Care. Now that's giving our best. Best.
Sir, for your safety, please remain seated.
Yes, ma'am.
Giving you our best never stops. Thank you for flying Alaska. Company retreat.
Gather information on the enemy using a variety of tactics. Scanning foreign communications, conducting interrogations, and debriefing friendly contacts. All while delivering and coordinating data to help allies on the battlefield or stop civil emergencies. The enemy can't hide from Guard intelligence.
Not that that takes much.
Fourth quarter, brought to you by Everett Community College. It's another EVCC trivia time. Now, why do 19,000 students choose Everett Community College every year? The answer easy. We have cutting-edge technology, and we'll teach you how to use it. Register now for spring classes at everettcc.edu.
I'm digging these trivia questions. These are nice.
You haven't answered one of them, by the way.
You haven't given me a chance. I don't know if I can get them, though. I usually like multiple choice, so next time we get around to these, maybe you can create an A, B, C, or D, but we'll see.
Big thank you to Everett Community College, the staff, everybody hosting here the NWAC tournament for the first time. Sierra Moss, the fourth quarter. Who's going to move on to the Final Four? Laster out front, Williams on her. Laster, deep three, too much. Saved by Sierra.
Saved by Sierra, but give McKnight a lot of credit there. She recognized she was not able to grab that ball, just simply batted it out. She knew she had numbers on the outside by the perimeter. Saved her team a possession.
Smith.
Did it again. Didn't quite pay off the same way that time, but McKnight once again recognizing that hey, if the ball comes down and I've only got one hand available and I'm surrounded by 2 Umpqua players, the best chance I have to get this ball back for my team is just to simply bat it up in the air.
Clark drives hard, looking to try and get a foul, not getting one there by Felicia Wright, but they will retain possession with 17 on the shot clock. Kluge into Bilbrew. Opening minutes of the fourth quarter. Kluge, deep 3. Yes!
Look familiar? That's exactly the way we started the third quarter. Didn't end up working to Umpqua's favor as much as they wanted, as they then gave up 5 quick points to Peninsula. Let's see if they can do something with Kluge's basket this time.
Laster flips it from the left hand, and here comes Kluge. Her last 2 baskets from beyond the arc. Williams out front. 8:33 left here in the fourth quarter. Pick and roll, well defended. Here comes Laster with another steal. Great defense by Bilbrew.
Bilbrew almost waiting for that shot, knowing that Laster was going to shoot it fairly low at a point where she could block it, and that's exactly what she did.
Laster get called by the foul. Now she's hobbled. 5'9" sophomore from Sedona Red Rock High School in Maryland. Just under 10 points a game. She's well above that with 15. Is Laster. She takes a seat. Hopefully she's all right.
Yeah, we need to keep an eye on that. Laster went immediately to the end of the bench and sat down. She's having a lot of trouble putting weight on that leg right now.
In a long season, a lot of these kids banged up, bruised.
Been so impactful in this game so far. Without her, let's see what they can do.
Double team, but Kluge perseveres. Kluge getting a little fired up.
We got a 3-point game all of a sudden, Scott. It's got down very quickly. We were at 13 points at one point in the third quarter.
McKnight, the turnaround jumper not there. Here comes Bilbrew. Umpqua just hanging around. Another, what looked like a good front side deny by McKnight, but she gets called for it.
You see that in football a lot, where the cornerback hooks the arm on one side and bats the ball away with the other. I think that's what the referee saw. They were on the other side on the baseline there and just noticed that there was a hook involved, and they called it.
They reset the team fouls. A 5 on McKnight. Underneath Kluge. Can't get the bucket, but there's her buddy Mum.
Did Mum get that, or did they team up on that one?
I believe it was Mum, but now a 1-point game.
22-10 run for Umpqua right now to get back in this ball game.
Peninsula's led as much as 13. Amani Smith says not today. She has just been tremendous. 20 points for Smith.
Fourth quarter are when big players step up. We're seeing that from Smith and from Kluge right now, along with Mum, and you know they're going to want to look for number 32 on this play if they can.
Peninsula with the championship last year. And an off-ball call on the Riverhawks. That's going to be on Williams. Third for her. First team foul.
You've battled back into this game. You've taken a 13-point deficit and got it down to 1 just a moment ago. The last thing you needed to do was have an offensive foul away from the basketball.
Smith Cherish, who's been 3 happy. Mum with a rebound. She's been 3 happy for a reason. She's hit a lot of them. Here comes Kluge. And 1!
Sawyer Kluge averages 20 points per game, over 20 points per game. 7 points here in the fourth quarter, 3:31 into the period.
Laster checks back in for Hutchins for Peninsula. 6:29 left. Who is going to go on to the Final Four and meet either Lower Columbia or Spokane? Kluge misses that. Rare miss for her. Laster the other way. One-on-one. Breaks you down. Kicks it. Another big rebound, Steve, for the Peninsula Pirates.
Apparently whatever Laster did to her foot a moment ago, it healed very, very quickly. Looked like she barely put weight on it.
Oh, Amani Smith with the ankle breaker. Can't finish. Clark the other way. Takes on Cooks, and she draws the blocking foul. Sid Clark quick to the bucket.
A gutsy move by Clark. She did not have numbers. It was a 1-on-3. I think if Deshaun Cooks had stood her ground a little bit, she could have drawn the charge. But, hey, give Clark a lot of credit, too. She recognized that she might have had Cooks off balance a little bit and draws contact.
Sid puts it in. Dejan Cooks, her third foul. Peninsula's fourth foul now, Steve, with 6:03 left in the quarter.
More importantly, they have a chance to take the lead right now. They haven't seen the lead since the first quarter.
Boom, she gets it. Umpqua all the way back with a lead at 6 minutes. Laster for the Pirates. This one not going to go. Bilbrew. Does she have numbers? She has Mom off the fingertips. Great idea. Mom frustrated.
Yeah, when you have the 6'2" post down low in a one-on-one situation, you're going to try to get her the ball just a little bit too far off those fingertips. If her wingspan was about 2 inches longer, that would be an easy bucket.
Laster out front. Cooks now Monty Smith on Bilbrew. Takes her, kind of leads with her arm, no call, but there's Cooks for the rebound. Bilbrew, and it ends up in a Riverhawk possession under the hoop. Unbelievable.
That Peninsula just going cold right now in this fourth quarter. They can't buy a basket. Only 2 points here, and we're halfway into the fourth.
Two-man game. The pick, the roll, the shot. Mom gets it! Ooh.
Umpqua with a 4-point lead. We're now under the 5-minute mark.
Who would have thunk it early in the third quarter here in this Elite Eight game? Imani Smith the other way. And Allison Crum immediately calls a timeout with 4:46. Umpqua crawling back with a 2-point lead. Back with more NWAC Championship basketball on it.
As certified jumpers, divers, and survival experts, Special Forces are dropped behind enemy lines to train foreign fighters, carry out covert missions, or prevent future conflicts. These soldiers live for the challenge, highly trained and highly intelligent. Special Forces soldiers are the best of the best. As certified jumpers.
Silver Fox. I like it. I see the hustle. I see the hustle for the baby. Name that route.
Albuquerque, New Orleans, Atlanta, Cancun.
Faster, faster, faster. Lost teddy bear. Open guy. Hit him, hit him, hit him. Oh. Let's make those hungry customers full customers. Why not, huh? I like it. Let's go, let's go. It's not even 7 a.m. yet.
Alaska Airlines.
No time to sleep.
You said it. Scott Oshman with Steve Willits here. 4:46 left to go in this game. The Peninsula Pirates, the reigning champion. But the Umpqua Riverhawks from Roseburg, Oregon, hanging in this heavyweight fight. They've won this title 2 times, Steve. But what a tremendous effort in this fourth quarter for the Riverhawks.
Yeah, and again, it gets back to it's now or never time. This isn't early December. This isn't late January. This is March. If you don't win this game, you have zero chance of winning the championship. Umpqua realized that and recognized it very quickly in that third quarter, and they've come out firing on all cylinders right now.
Kluge gets the pick by Mom. Kluge, little jumper, can't get it, and I think they're going to call the foul there on Pape, coming in hard for the rebound over Sierra Moss.
Yeah, Pape getting just a little too anxious on that play. I think her eyes got big when she saw that ball kind of coming down in her direction. Unfortunately for her, there was a Peninsula player between her and the basket, and she gets called for the foul.
Both teams averaging 50 and 48 rebounds per game as Radisha right in the cup. Teammates fired up.
4:20 to go. Everybody laying it on the line right now. Radisha saw just a little bit of an opening, exploited it. She goes up hard, gets the basket, and draws the foul.
Foul on Williams. That is her fourth. 3 team fouls on Umpqua now. Disha can't get the 3-point play. All tied up. 4:14 left in this unbelievable matchup here. Clark, Pape, 14 on the shot clock. Kluge now working the left side. Pick, can't get it back to Mum. Pape now, 4 seconds on the shot clock. Clark, Williams has to right hook, no good. Mum tries to tip it, but the shot clock too soon.
Yeah, and unfortunately, nice job by Williams to recognize the clock was going down. Unfortunately for her, had to rush that one far too quickly. Off-balance shot, draws air. If heck, shoots that 3 seconds earlier, Mum's got a nice look at a basket.
Sierra Moss, Nia Bay sisters back out to Laster. Peninsula trying to get to the Final Four where they knocked off this Riverhawks team last year. Radisha, no good, but Cooks with the rebound, and she draws a foul from Kluge.
Great court awareness there by number 21, Cooks. Recognizing that ball was not going to go in. Grabs it out of the air. Goes right back up with it. Didn't have a great look at it. Tried to rush it, but to her credit, knew that she was going to draw contact, and she's going to the line.
Second on Kluge. 4 team fouls each here. Cooks at the line. Rattles in. And Cooks only with 4 points, but it absolutely has to be mentioned. Her defense this morning, has been tremendous. Excellent defense. She's had a big task on Mum and Kluge.
Yeah, she's not getting points on the scoreboard, but she is getting hustle points. One part of her game that she does need to work on here that hasn't worked for her so far today, free throws. She's 2 out of 6 now, and right now they only have a 1-point lead. She hits a couple more of those. That lead could be larger.
Umpqua, can they take back the lead? Mum strong to the hoop. They're going to call her for an offensive foul. Oh, boy.
You just praised Cook a minute ago for doing the little things. Nothing small about that. She takes a hard charge from Mum. Stands her ground. That's a huge foul.
Her third, and that sends Umpqua with their 5th foul.
It's player control, so they don't get to shoot free throws on that one.
On charge, they don't go and shoot, but now the rest of the way here with 3:05 left. They get 2 shots. Sierra Moss spins, but she's blocked. But there's her teammate, Smith.
Great job by Pape to get nothing but ball on that play. Unfortunately for her, she bats it right into the hands of a Peninsula player. Smith able to convert Peninsula on a 7-0 run right now.
Umpqua trying to get it there with Pape, battling for the rebound. Imani Smith with the ball, loses it in midcourt. Now back over to Mum, bodies on the ground.
No need to rush it here. You've got plenty of time. 2:26 to go.
Kluge, running right-hander, and Peninsula with the ball and the 1-point lead. Imani Smith, Steve, 22, her season high 23 this year with the ball.
Yeah, I have a feeling she's not done scoring yet either the way she's going right now.
Laster thinks about it. 10 on the shot clock. Smith, air ball.
We praised her too soon. We jinxed her.
Kluge down to Clark. Clark, Sierra's got her on her hip. Can't get it to go.
Well, it was a nice move to get to the basket. Just couldn't quite finish.
3-point lead for the Pirates. Sierra Moss now rolling it out. 1:42 left as Allison Crum shouting instructions to her players. Laster on Williams. Monty Smith, 10 on the shot clock, gonna let it draw down. Smith, great block.
Pape one more time. Second block she's had in about 3 possessions.
Kluge the other side. Mum, Williams deep 3. Bounces, but Mum tries the rebound. No foul on that. It's going to stay Riverhawk ball.
Great possession by Mum. Not only does she kick it out to Williams for an open look 3, as soon as she kicks it out and recognizes Williams is going to shoot, she immediately takes off towards the basket, is able to get an offensive board, misses the shot, but also recognizes, hey, I can't grab this ball. I'm going to bat it off McKnight, keep the possession.
1:12 left in the game. Clark. Nice quick move on Radisha to get the baseline, and she gets the whistle.
Clark shooting 71% from the free throw line this year, and no two bigger shots than the ones coming up right now with 1:08 to go. Umpqua down by 3. They really need these baskets.
Both teams with 5 team fouls, and Clark has no problem with the first.
Clark 5 for 5 from the free throw line today.
The freshman from Olympic High School in Bremerton. Can't get the bounce. Rebound, Mum. And she draws the foul.
If you're Peninsula and you end up losing this game, you're going to think back to that play right there. You just gave Mum an easy opportunity to get in, almost converted that basket, but at the very least, she's going to the line for 2.
Mum, too much on that. Her mom here, Jennifer, 1986, played for Coach Strickland, and she misses both. 2-point lead here with 1:02 left. Peninsula coming down. Imani Smith out front with Laster. Now to Cherish. 17 on the shot clock.
No need to foul here. You've got a 36-second differential between game clock and shot clock. Play tight defense and get the ball back.
High bounce, deep rebound to Clark. 1 possession game, down by 2. 30 seconds left in this one. Clark out top, guarded by Laster. High post, no timeout. 21 seconds by Strickland. Mum, 12 on the shot clock. Clark drives. She's held, and it's a jump ball by Cherish Moss.
Unfortunately for Umpqua, they have the possession arrow going their way, and keep in mind on a jump ball, you do not reset the shot clock. So 18.6 to go in the game, 9 to go on the shot clock.
And as I was anticipating, head coach Dave Strickland takes a timeout.
It'll be interesting to see what they call up here. You're down by 2. Do you go for the tie? Do you try to perhaps go for the win?
We'll find out right after this.
Pass the ball. Right here.
18.6 seconds left in our first of championship coverage on STSPN. If this is any indication of what's in store, Steve Willits, glue yourself to whatever you're watching these games on, as Umpqua and the sophomore Anna Mum with the ball out of bounds, only 9 on the shot clock, down by 2.
18 to go on the game clock.
Clark to Kluge. Kluge out front. 3 seconds. Another huge defensive play there by Cooks. Unbelievable.
Yeah, just one too many passes. I mean, they were down to 3 on the shot clock when that pass was thrown anyway, so even if they are able to get it down low, they're going to have to put up a very quick shot. Probably not the offensive possession they wanted. It's a no-brainer, really, when you say it on the turnover, but really even in terms of the looks they were getting and the way that play was developing, or lack thereof. Smith now has a chance to put this game away with 2 free throws. If she can make both of these, it's pretty much over with 7.8 seconds to go.
Misses the first. Clark charged with that foul, her third, sending Imani to the line. She's had a excellent game. Second one, yes. Still a 1-possession game with 7.8 seconds to go. Another timeout on the floor. And we will stay right here. As things heating up, what are you telling the Umpqua Riverhawks and head coach Dave Strickland? What do they want to set up? They got to go the length of the floor with 7.8 left.
Well, obviously they need a three, so if I'm them, I'm pretty much not even putting anybody underneath the basket. Certainly if they want to go down low, if they make a basket within the three-point line right now, the clock's going to expire and they're going to lose the game. So if you're Peninsula, don't let them get an open look on a three, but certainly whatever you do, don't foul on the shot either.
We will see. Both coaches been here many times before. Actually, out of the timeout, they get it over on the side. Big break, but again, defense, Imani Smith.
They need a foul. I don't know why they're not fouling it right now. They've waited way, way too long. 1.4 seconds to go. It probably wouldn't have mattered anyway, but you're not giving yourself any chance if you're going to let her dribble that ball out.
And you can talk about, for the Peninsula Pirates today, about the great offensive outing by several players, but to me, Steve, it's been the defense.
Well, in those last two possessions, I mean, they forced Umpqua into a bad pass as the shot clock was expiring on the last possession, and then they come out here and Smith gets a quick steal, and I was just going to say, Smith, she's missed her share of free throws today as she's 3 for 7 right now. If she hits this one, the game's over. If not, we could have an exciting shot put up here at the buzzer.
She hits that. She doesn't miss it. Now to Bilbrew, but not enough time. And the Peninsula Pirates survive and move on 70-67, but not without an unbelievable effort and fight by the Umpqua Riverhawks. 70-67, the Pirates to the Final Four once again.
You have to give it up for both teams. Both teams, every time they'd fall behind, would come fighting back and retake the lead. Umpqua did a nice job getting back into this game after falling back by 13, but give Peninsula a lot of credit. They fell behind 66-62. Umpqua had all the momentum in the world, and all Peninsula does is closes out this game on an 8-1 run, and consequently they're playing tomorrow for in the semis.
It's always a game of runs, but they were Umpqua down 13 at one point in that third, came back. 6 minutes left in this ball game, as you just talked about. They take the lead for the first time in a long time, and they hung in there, and just brilliant post defense by Cooks, by McKnight early on. You can't say enough about the steals, the turnovers, everything that the Peninsula Pirates did in the open court.
Yeah, and that's what champions do, and they know how to beat champions. They won it here, or not here, but they won this championship last year. Certainly you knew they weren't going to give up, and they didn't. And as you mentioned before, give Imani Smith a ton of credit. She just had a huge second half. She goes out, she scores 13 points in the second half alone, and that doesn't even include steals, rebounds, and other things, and that's why they're moving on.
We'll be back with the totals. We'll get all the statistics and more. Peninsula moving on to the Final Four. Umpqua Riverhawks, their great season has ended. More coming up on STSPN.
Soldiers in the Guard's intelligence field gather information on the enemy using a variety of tactics. Scanning foreign communications, conducting interrogations, and debriefing friendly contacts, all while delivering and coordinating data to help allies on the battlefield or stop civil emergencies. The enemy can't hide from Guard intelligence. Soldiers in the Guard's intelligence field gather information on the enemy using a variety of tactics. Scanning foreign communications, conducting interrogations, and debriefing friendly contacts, all while delivering and coordinating data to help allies on the battlefield or stop civil emergencies. The enemy can't hide from Guard intelligence.
Pass the ball.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by Centralia College. Centralia is your college for associate degrees, bachelor's degrees, and job training. Apply now to get a jump on classes in financial aid. Application is easy and it's free. You belong at Centralia College. Visit www.centralia.edu for details. Peninsula moves on 70-67 over the Riverhawks from Roseburg and Umpqua College down there. What a great first matchup, and we're about 15 minutes away to see who they're going to face. Lower Columbia, the Red Devils, or the Spokane Sasquatch coming up at noon. For everybody here on this first broadcast, for Steve Willits, Todd Elvig, our executive producer engineer, Scott Oshman, saying so long and stay tuned. We'll be back with the second half of this Elite 8 NWAC 2016 championship right after a break on STSPN.